Alright, this is our last segment for the show. And on this segment, we're going to be talking about Glory Kickboxing. Their event is coming up on June 21st, Glory 17, first on Spike. And then the last man standing 8-man tournament that's going on pay-per-view. First, let's get into the Glory 17 card. The 4-man tournament, that's featherweights. We got Shane Oblonsky taking on Marcus Vinicius. And Marcus Vinicius, he's actually taking the place of Miguel Torres, who used to fight in WEC and UFC, and he was going into kickboxing, but then he got injured, so Marcus is taking his place. And also, there's Gabriel Varga versus, this is a little hard to pronounce, Yudik Ponsitmoncha, that's Thai. Hard to pronounce. Sorry, I'm much better at pronouncing Chinese names than Thai names. I'm also better at Japanese names as well. And also in the co-main event, the number one contender for the lightweight title, Andy Risty versus Kai Hollenbeck. Both fighters I've seen fight, and especially Andy Risty. He's a good fighter. I've seen him fight on many occasions, and wonderful kickboxer out of Africa. So go check him out. And of course, in the main event, we got the legend Mirko Cro Cop versus Sergey Kariknikov from Russia. Two former Pride fighters, two former MMA fighters, and kickboxers are going to be squaring off. And the Russians, man, the Russians are bad motherfuckers. I mean, they really are bad motherfuckers, because, I remember watching, they did a thing on Bellator about the Russian fighters in Bellator, and they train in Siberia. Yeah, Siberia, Russia.
Wow.
Yeah, and you and I talked about you and I talked about this one time too. Like in Siberia, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing there. It's mostly farmland. Yeah, I mean...
Is there even farmland?
Yeah, it is farmland. It is farmland, because I've seen it. In Moscow and St. Petersburg, there's McDonald's, there's 7-Elevens and Burger Kings and all that good stuff. But in Siberia, there's nothing. It's snow, it's cold as hell, and...
ice.
Yeah, cold and ice. And, when I saw them training, I was like, man, that is tough. Because they were jogging in the deep snow. Even when they had the clothes on, they were still jogging in the snow. And
they had to have the clothes on, otherwise it'd be too cold.
Yeah, but there was actually a part where they were in nothing but their tidy whities, and they were doing snowman in the snow.
Are you kidding me? Oh my heavens, it must have been freezing.
Yeah, and
it's so sexy, but sexy. It's all get out, but they must have been freezing. Oh gee.
Yeah, and they also did this thing called Chaibana. It's where after a workout you take an ice bath, which is, and the water's at 30 degrees cold, and then you go into the steam room. That's tough. That's a lot of tough training, but. It's like I told you before, that kind of training does kind of forces you to train that, that kind of environment, because it's okay, we're on a farm, there's no 7-Eleven, there's no McDonald's, there's some women here, but they're not fuckable, so what do you guys want to do? You want to do some boxing, jiu-jitsu? Okay. Yeah.
I think I saw a guy at a gym that I belonged to once, did something like going from hot water to cold water. He's going from the hot tub to the cold shower, I think. It was going back and forth between the hot and cold. I think he was in the military before or something. It was the hot and cold thing. I was like, wow, how the crap does he do that?
Yeah, ice is the ice water and stuff that's used to relax your muscles. I don't know if I've never done an ice bath. I don't know if I could do it. I would like to try it maybe once I start working out again. So
I don't think I could do it.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Especially black people. Black people, we don't like the cold. That's why I couldn't train in Siberia, Russia. I'd be like, it's a little cold here. Can we possibly do this when it gets a little warmer?
Hey, some of us white people don't like the cold either. So let's not get a little reverse racist there.
Okay. Sorry, white people.
Thank you. We accept the apology.
Yeah. And now we're going to get on to the last man standing tournament. Okay, I went to GloryWorldSeries.com. They haven't filled out the bracket yet on who's fighting who. But I can tell you who's going to be in the tournament. From Russia, we have Artem Levin. From USA, we have Joe Schilling. He's good. Wayne Barrett, also from USA, he's good. From Belgium, we have Flip Verlinden. From Brazil, Alex Pereira. From Romania, Bogan Stolia. And as I mentioned last week on the on the Matty and the Dogg show, used to be the OBB Sports show, but now it's Matty and the Dogg. From Amsterdam, Melvin Manhoef. As I said before, a bad motherfucker. I've seen him in K1 and stuff. He is awesome striker. I hope he wins the tournament. And for the welterweight title, we have Mark DeBonte versus Joe Vattolini. Joe Vattolini and Mark DeBonte I've seen fight, and that's going to be nothing but fireworks. And in the main event, as I mentioned before, for the heavyweight title, Daniel Guita versus Rico Balboa, Rico Verhoeven. That's going to be an awesome fight. Good rematch for the title. And that's going to be the tournament that's going to be on pay-per-view. The fight card that I mentioned before, that's going to be on Spike TV. That's for free. And the other one's going to be on pay-per-view. And the thing about this last man standing tournament, the thing is, I remember like Pride and K1, they would have these tournaments, especially K1, like they were famous for having an 8-man tournament. 8-man tournaments, you had those fights in one night, 3 fights in one night. Especially with the heavyweights. The heavyweights, you had to fight like 3 Remy Bonjowskis, 3 Mirko Krokops. Those were. And I kind of like those tournaments. So, the 4-man tournaments, those are a little too short for me. But the 8-man tournaments, those are going to be the bomb. I love those tournaments. And actually, I like tournaments better in kickboxing and in MMA because with MMA, especially the UFC, sometimes they hand out title shots like candy, and people do play politics, whereas in the tournaments, like you have to really earn a title shot. You see them digging and going through the pain and suffering. They really do earn their title shots. It goes back to Japan. When MMA in Japan was so big. With the Pride and Senjoku and Dream, they had Grand Prix, and even Bellator right now. Like Bellator, they have tournaments, and that's the toughest tournament in sports, which I highly agree with. I like fights. Blah. Sorry, people. That's something boxing, could do. They can do that in boxing as well. Like if someone vacates a title, like WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, they can just like, okay, for those belts, we're gonna have a tournament, and whoever wins the tournament is the champion. Because I like tournaments, much better. Gets the bullshit out of the way. What about you?
I'm not sure that I can really give an opinion on this because I really don't follow this like you do. But I don't know, between the 4-man tournament, the 4-man tournaments versus the 8-man tournaments. I don't know. I think the 4-man tournaments definitely show more mercy to the fighters because they're not having to face as many super strong competitors. So I'd probably be more for the 4-man tournaments for that reason.
Okay.
But of course the 8-man tournaments would provide more entertainment to watch. It'd be much longer. It'd be like, yeah, you can really get passionate. You can really get into it. It's like, yeah, who's gonna beat them next? Are they gonna be able to beat the opponent? Is the opponent gonna wind up beating them? Like, boom, 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 boom.
Oh most definitely. I prefer 8-man tournaments, better than 4-man tournaments, and also those fights, both the 4-man and the 8-man tournament fights, they're going to be at the LA Forum where the Lakers used to play, back in the old days, the Showtime days with Magic, Kareem, and James Worthy, and also one famous fight that was there at the LA Forum, it was Julio Cesar Chavez and Roger Mayweather, their second fight. I was actually watching it last night, and that was a damn good fight. Yeah, Roger Mayweather, of course, he's now like helps his nephew Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's the one holding the mitts as Mayweather's hitting the mitts and all that stuff. And that was a good fight, man. Because anyone who's ever seen Julio Cesar Chavez fight, he's like, he comes in, he likes to dig to the body, dig the body, dig the head, and Roger, he was doing that, shoulder roll thing, moving the shoulders and all that stuff, Yeah, man. I mean, him, Floyd Sr. and Jeff Mayweather, they're the pioneers of that shoulder roll, and then later on, James Toney and Pernell Whitaker, they started emulating that style, even Bernard Hopkins. But of course, Money Mayweather, Floyd Jr., he just took it to the next level because now he's undefeated. So a lot of memories there, LA Forum, that Chavez versus Mayweather too. So if you're a fight fan, of course you're gonna have some nostalgic feeling for that. I mean, how could you not? Alright, well, that ends the show. Episode 2 of Matty and the Dogg. We're going to be taking a couple of weeks off because K-Dog has some busy plans. And
yes, I do.
Yeah, especially on the 21st for Pride in Providence.
Yeah, also the June 14th, first of all, is Boston Pride. So being in Boston, that's the slightly more important one. But of course, also June 21st will be Providence Pride. So that's back to back, 2 in a row. So
yeah, that's it. That's what we're working with, and but after the 21st, we'll be back. We'll be back in July.
Yeah.
Yep. So also be on the lookout for the Ninja Slayer. That's where I do commentary on Asian action films, and stay tuned for more videos on Matt's World, and also be on the lookout for Fight Corner, which me and K-Dog are going to be doing as well. We're going to be doing videos on old fights, from my VHS collection, kickboxing, MMA, boxing, you name it, we got it.
That might be around July, probably. Oh, that. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. we don't have to do it on the weekend, we can just do it during the week, like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Well, whatever works. Let's say when we do our next episode of Matty and the Dogg, and we'll say when we do Fight Corner.
Yeah. Yeah, so stay tuned, and well, this is the king and queens of sports, Matty and the Dogg. Yeah, that's a good name. The king and queens of sports. Of course, you know which is which. Well, that's it for Matty and the Dogg from Beantown to Your Town.
And if I can remember, the Queen's channel, the Dogg's channel, is at youtube.com /Kevin Brian Offer. It's KevinBrianOffer. There you can see the first episode of our show, along with my show, Kevin's World, and the show I do with my boyfriend, Michael, which is going to be the K&M show. Right now it's been the Mike Vin show, but we're changing names. So, anyway, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Matty's channel here.
YouTube.com/Matthew Barrs. That's MattheWburrus. Subscribe. That's where the second episode of Matty and the Dog will be, and that's where you can find most of the videos for the Ninja's Lair, Matt's World, and Fight Corner, which is going to be coming out pretty soon. So until then, peace out.
Peace out.